National Rifle Association. Good morning, David.
Pleasure to be with you.
Did anything that happened in Newtown change anything about the NRA, or will your efforts simply be resist, resist, resist?
Well, we're very interested in answering the question of how do we make schools safer for our children. As you know, from the very beginning after this happened, we've argued that we need two things. One, we need to get at the root of the problem, which is the broken and devastatingly broken mental health care system we have in this country, because most of these people, all of them in fact, are people with severe mental problems. Secondly, we need to provide security, because we can never predict how one of these people is going to act. Most of the proposals that have to do with firearms are simply feel-good proposals that have been tried in the past and won't work or won't have any real impact. The real question that needs to be addressed is not what do we do about guns, it's what do we do to make our children safe.
All right, David, we had a new CBS News New York Times poll out this morning that shows 85% of NRA households support background checks on all gun buyers. Are you out of touch with your own membership?
Not at all. We actually are polling our members as well right now, as well as other gun owners and Second Amendment supporters. You know, the NRA has been one of the biggest supporters of the so-called NICS system, which provides background checks. In the past, when they were talking about checks at gun shows, most guns sold at gun shows do involve a background check because they're sold by licensed dealers.
But 40% of guns are from private sales. So
and most of those are not at gun shows. But let me make my point. At the gun shows, we suggested to the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms some years ago, if they want everybody that makes an exchange there checked, all they have to do is provide a booth and do it. They said, no, we weren't interested in that. We weren't going to fund it.
So, David,
the difficulty comes in when you're talking about you and me as next-door neighbors, and you buy a new shotgun and want to sell one to me. How do you enforce a background check on that? We want to see the proposal. But as a general proposition, the NRA has been very supportive of doing background checks on purchasers through the instant system, and secondly, of adding the potentially violently mentally ill to the database, which most states and the federal government have up to now not done.
David,
the president now says he'll do that, and that's good.
Dave, on the eve of the president announcing these new gun proposals, the NRA put out this ad in which you mentioned the president's kids. David J. Carney, the White House press secretary, called your ad repugnant and cowardly. Why is it not off bounds to use the president's kids or anybody's kids in a political ad?
Well, the ad was not about the president's kids. The ad
Let me just stop you right there, David, because I looked at the ad again this morning. I read through the transcript. You actually mentioned the president's kids three times.
Of course we did.
3 times.
Of course we did. And we also had pictures of a number of other people, including David Gregory and others, who send their children to schools that have protection and deride the idea that average citizens' children should be protected. That was our point. Our point is not about the president's kids. It's not about his kids. It's about everybody else's kids. We think that one of the most important things we can do is provide security to the children of America. And we don't think that's an inappropriate message.
David King, thank you very much. We'll hear from